Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this right here is Tom Clark's Main Event. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. Episode number 231, Tom Clark's Main Event, live and live in color. Get the ticker ticking. There she is. What's up? How's everybody doing out there? Happy Friday to you. Hope you've had a good week. The family and I have spent this week in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Vacation time for yours truly. Still on vacation right now. We had a really good week. My niece and nephew went with us. How's the hair? Is it kicking? Is it rocking? Is it doing it for you? I'm almost time for another. I was going to say a new haircut. I don't venture much out of the norm. I actually had a ponytail back in the day. Not very long, just yay big. It was more like a samurai bob or something. You know what I'm saying? That's a long time. Can you imagine that? That was a long time ago. I would say that's back during my wild days, but I never had wild days. I've always been pretty straight-laced kind of character. You know what I mean? Responsible to a fault. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yes, vacation this week was good. My niece and nephew had a good time. Kids can be rowdy, yes, but they behave pretty well. My son did as well. My son is the veteran of the group now. He's a year older than the oldest, which is my niece. So yeah, they had a pretty good week. We enjoyed them and we enjoyed our time in the great state of Tennessee. So for all any of you folks living up there, thank you for welcoming us. Man, it was busy. The month of June is insane in Pigeon Forge, dude. Very touristy place, very touristy, but lots to do. Hot as crap. But yeah, man, if you're ever in the mood to vacation somewhere, I would recommend Pigeon Forge / Gatlinburg. If you can handle the tourists, man, if you can handle the crowds, good luck to you. It's weird being back in crowds again, but you know what, baby? It's time to get back to some semblance of normalcy, which is what we're trying to do. Let's say some hellos here today. Elvis Martinez, what's going on, my friend? Shannon Larissa, how are you doing? Sugar Shane Odom in the house. Air Jackson, yes, sir. How you doing today? Ooh, Jeff with the naughty language. Sandy, guten Tag to you, my friend. I've got Sandy on the a little something here happening today. Mean Mark Gray, what's up, my friend? Toby, terrible Toby Royer. I feel like I could just pronounce your last name for 10 minutes. Royer, you know what I mean? Double V, Victor Vasquez, how are you, my friend? Kevin, what's going on, my friend? Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Chris says, Baltimore says, how you been? I've been doing fine. Conover says, I'm doing fine. How are you? Belinda, how you doing? Cherie is in sunny and hot Northern California. Hope you're doing well, my friend. What's up, Raymond? How's it going? Mark says, haven't been here, but I've been messaging Tom on Twitter. Been busy lately. Love the shirt. Thank you, sir. I'm a big Jimmy fan for sure. Alma, how are you today? Good to see you. What's up, Reggie? Yes, sir, Sandy. You sure did. We're gonna talk about that today. We got Jamel says you finished your second novel. You talking about writing a novel? Are you serious? Like writing a book or like reading a book? Surely not reading. Listen, Jamel, tell us what books you said second, right? If you're a writer, man, hey, I'll plug your stuff on here all day long. Is that what you're talking about? That'd be awesome, man. So someone's saying it froze. My feed looks good on this end. Oh, Jamel, plug your stuff. Tell everybody where they can find your work. I'll check it out, man. For sure. I will definitely check it out. What do you write? Everyone is complimenting me on how young I look. You guys are the best ever. Best ever. I'm still dealing with the cough. Full disclosure, bleh. I feel fine, but the cough has been a beast this week. I'm not gonna lie. But however, as I said before, vacation was good. Spend a butt ton of money. Yeah, we'll get there. Super Genie passing away this week. We'll talk about that here in a bit. So, yeah, Jamel, plug your stuff. Feel free to put links up in the description if you'd like to. Please feel free. All right, we've got a bunch of stuff here to get into today. A bunch of stuff to talk about. Before we go any further, I have to let you guys know something. Here's the address you need to go to. tinyurl.com/Tom Clark Pods. tinyurl.com/Tom Clark Pods. And I will show you why. You would think I would have had this queued up. However, I did not. tinyurl.com/Tom Clark Pods. Want to know what that is? Man, am I glad you asked. Asked. That's it. I'm glad you asked because it is the brand new, there it is. It is the brand new Tom Clark's Main Event merch page. Bam! Look at that, baby. Check out that big freaking logo, man. 44 products to choose from. We got t-shirts. We got baseball 3/4-inch sleeves. We got classic tees, lightweight hoodies, lightweight sweatshirts. We got long sleeve tees, pullover hoodies, pullover sweatshirts. Racer back tank top. I don't do tank tops, man. You need guns for tank tops, and I have no guns. I have guns, but they're not loaded. You know what I mean? We've got hoodies, man. We got stickers. We got glossy stickers. We got phone covers, iPad covers, laptop sleeves. Whatever sort of a cell phone you have, we got you. We got your hookup. Buttons. Look at that button, center of the page. How pretty is that? The coffee mug. I've ordered myself a t-shirt. That sucker's coming here soon. I'll be showing it off here on the pod. Look at that pillow. Look how sweet that is. We got travel mugs. We got tall mugs. We got magnets. We got greeting cards. We got water bottles. 44 items to choose from, kids. There you go. Let me tell you something. And if that's not good enough, if you're into some other stuff as well, I've got a second podcast, kids. Tom Clark's 6M Podcast. We specialize in movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. It's a geek culture catch-all umbrella pod for all things nerd stuff. Again, t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops. We've also got stuff for the ladies here. All right. We've got stickers. We've got cases. We've got tote bags. You need a tote bag? Got your hookup, zipper pouch, water bottle. I mean, we've got everything here. Tom Clark's Main Event merch page has 44 items. Tom Clark's 6M Podcast page has 45 items. Sandy in Germany will tell you that this is good quality stuff. And in fact, let's don't waste any more time. Sandy wants to tell you about it himself. Ladies and gentlemen, from Germany, Sandy Klein, everybody. Check this out.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sandy from Germany here. Check out Tom Clark's Main Event. Always Fridays on Facebook at 12. Yeah.
Sandy's never looked better, kids. You see that shirt? You're a handsome devil, Sandy Klein. Thank you so much for repping the show. Thank you so much for repping the show. Oh, don't think, Jamel, I can't put a link in the chat. Are you kidding me? Watch this. I mean, give me a second. I mean, you got to be patient. Hold on. I mean, watch this. Bam. There you go. Let me know if that thing's clickable, would you? That'd be awesome if you could do that for me. Let me know if it's clickable, everybody. Everybody. Yes. Sandy is the man. Sandy, I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate you. Listen. For anyone having heartburn over the prices on the site, I assure you, yours truly is getting a scoosh of that money. I assure you, I'm not doing this to get money in my pocket. I'm not doing this to pad the account, okay? I'm doing this because I want the logo out there. That's all I'm doing it for. Honestly, that's it. This is just advertisement for the show. If I'm being real with you, that's what I'm doing. If it puts a few dollars in my account, I'll take it. But if whatever money I would make, I would put it right back into the show, dude. You know what I mean? This is a labor of love for me. I think a lot of you guys already know that stuff. But yeah, if let me know if it is clickable. Jamel, do me a favor, my friend. Please send that to me in my personal messenger, Jamel, your link. Would you do that, please? I would very much appreciate that. I'd very much appreciate that, my friend. I'm going to check out your stuff. I am. Yeah. I use Amazon all the time. All right, kids. I got people asking what the topics are today. Why don't we just go ahead and get to them? Again, tinyurl.com/Tom Clark Pods. Please and thank you. I appreciate your business. Everyone that's here right now, please hit the little heart button and the thumbs up button. I would very much appreciate that, okay? Let's get rolling here today, kids. John Cena has confirmed his WWE return. I don't think this is any surprise. He was on, I think, the Tonight Show this week, and he was asked, are you coming back? He said yes. He says he doesn't know when, and if you believe that, I got some prime oceanfront property in Idaho that I'll sell to you dirt cheap. I'm just saying. So, yeah, he's going to be back. And I don't care that he's playing at Hush Hush. It's perfectly fine with me, dude. I have no problem with this. I like John a lot. John's one of those guys that I would like to interview, not because I could say, I got to interview John Cena. I don't care about that. He just always seems to me to be a good interview and a very approachable guy. Now, for all I know, he's a complete jerk. I mean, I don't think so. But how do I know, right? How does he not know I'm a complete jerk? I can be. But it just seems to me that he's just a good guy and he's just out there. He's hustling, loyalty, respect, right? Toby says he ruined the Fast series. Toby, if you think that John Cena is going to ruin that comical comedy of a franchise, brother, go with God. You're welcome to think that. That is from where I'm sitting, that is one of the most ridiculous film franchises I've ever laid eyes on. The acting, hoy. The action, hoy vey. All right. But that's just my take. You can love it all day long. Hey, look, the Expendables are my guilty pleasure. Okay. So if I appreciate the Expendables, I guess in some way I have to appreciate the Fast franchise. But dude, if you think he's going to ruin it, you're welcome to think what you want, my friend. But for me, I just don't see it. Yeah, Chris agrees. Such a storied career and just so much to cover and ask about in general. No doubt about it. And, John's going to give you the PC company corporate answers, and that's fine. But, I wouldn't even talk to John about Modern Pro. I would talk to John about old school because John's a big old school guy. He grew up watching Dusty like I did. And, that's where his head's at. And I would love to talk to him about the old school stuff. Talk to him about old matches and the first Starrcade. That's what I'd love to talk to John about. I'd say, look, we could talk about your career if you want to, and we could talk about this, that, and the other stuff, and we'll get there. But, dude, talk to me about old Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Why was it the best of all time? Because you would like to think that you're the guy that hits these people with something different. I was the one when I interviewed Big Show. Speaking of the Expendables, I mentioned to Big Show about his acting career at the time. He was still with WWE, and I asked, I told him, I said, what's your plans for acting? I said, because personally, I think you would be a great fit in the Expendables. And he had never heard that before. So it's pretty cool. I could throw something out that he had never been hit with. And that's hard because these guys do so much press. Yes. But there again, shows a very affable guy as well. So there you go. Mark says after Paul died, the show stopped. You know what? I can't disagree with that. My heart's not in that franchise. So I don't have a dog in the race. I really don't. James wants to talk about Nikki. Okay, sure. What's everybody thinking Nikki Cross? The new gimmick. Butterfly? Is that what they're calling her? I mean, everybody wants to crap on everything, and everybody wants to talk about, oh, this sucks and that sucks, and she sucks and he sucks, and they all suck together. But, dude, you know what? It's WWE. It's WWE. Alicia hitting us with what a lot of people are saying, knock off Mahal. Yeah, but you know what? If you believe anything that's being said online right now, according and Mark, I'm seconding your emotion here. Supposedly, this was her idea. I don't know if that's true or not. Supposedly, she pitched it to them, and they said yes. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yes, kids, John Cena on the way back. We all have been assuming it's going to be SummerSlam. We all assume it's going to be against the Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief. We'll see what happens. NJPW for the first time is going to put fans in front of NJPW Strong. TV tapings are going to begin August 16th. Supposedly they're going to record or tape 9 matches at that one event. And they'll take those 9 matches and spread them out. They'll probably do more. I don't know if they'll do more, but you think 9 matches, how many shows will that get you? Probably 3 shows, I would say, maybe, with enough filler, enough promos thrown in along the way. So we'll see what happens. It's a pretty big move for them. If you've not watched NJPW Strong, you're missing a quality pro wrestling program. It's good. It's weird because they still don't have fans, or they've had no noise at all. None. No piped in crowd. No crew in the seats. So it's been kind of a weird feel, especially now that fans are coming back. But you know what? We'll see what happens, man. I'm anxious to see NJPW Strong in front of fans and see how they do. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be cool. James says, I'm going to MLW. I'd love to see an MLW show, James. We're going to see AEW Dynamite in Charlotte on July 28th, so that's going to be cool. Christopher says, real question is, did they get the Lesnar contract done for SummerSlam? I hope NJPW Strong tours at some point. Oh, I'd love to see that. That was the plan, right? They were going to continue their immersion into the States with the Strong brand, beginning on the West Coast, and then they were going to book into the Midwest and into the East Coast. That was the plan before COVID, right? So we'll see what happens, man. I'm anxious to see what goes on. They moved Eva Marie to the alumni section. I don't get upset. I haven't got upset at WWE in a long time, kids. I just don't. The news coming out this week about how the newest writers they brought on board have never even seen pro wrestling and don't even know Lashley's name. Thought it was Bobby Ashley or something, and they don't know pro wrestling. Don't even know who the champions are. They're very vaguely familiar. Why are we getting mad? Why is this a headline? And in the headlines on all the dirt sheets, for lack of a better term, for all those websites, why is the headline said in such disgust? You know what I mean? Like, writers don't even know, blah, blah, blah. Are we ever going to learn? Are we ever going to understand that this is not? Gather round your streaming devices. Okay? Get ready. WWE is not a pro wrestling company in the purest sense of the term. They haven't been in a very long time. And once you accept that, your life is going to get much easier as a fan, I assure you. But the more you fight it, the more you push it, the more you push back, the more you rage, you're just going to hurt your own day. You're just going to hurt yourself. There's no point in it. They don't care what you think, kids. They don't care what you think. I'm not mad about that. They can do whatever they want. And they will. They can do whatever they want. Shannon, I love you for this. Are we not sports entertained? Are you not sports entertained? Oh my God, that was awesome. Lance says they never were. Everybody go check out Dudes of Ringside Wrestling Podcast, please and thank you. Lance says they never were. I disagree. I think they were. I think at one point in the 80s they were a pro wrestling promotion. They were a territory. They branched off from the National Wrestling Alliance. They were their own thing. Vince McMahon, Vince McMahon's dad, Vince McMahon Sr., right? So guess what? They were at one time. As soon as Vince got, not maybe the moment Vince got his hands on it, but the moment Vince said, we're going to go national, pal, that's when everything changed. When his vision began getting carried forth. And guess what? It's fine. It's fine. Someone said the internet killed wrestling. I disagree with that. Vince McMahon killed wrestling as we know it. As we knew it, he did. Vince is the one who let the cat out of the bag. Listen, the media had already gotten a hold of it. Really, really smart people realized very early on. How come that guy doesn't have a black eye from yesterday? I saw him wrestle last night and he got hit in the face. Where's his black eye? Do you see what I'm saying? when you begin to see cooperation in the ring, the Irish whip, many old school fans will tell you the Irish whip killed pro wrestling. What say you? Did the Irish whip kill pro wrestling? It shows a very, very, very obvious effort of cooperation on the part of both men. I submit maybe the Irish whip was the downfall or the beginning of the end. I know that sounds goofball, but the moment the cooperation is spotted in a match, the moment you understand, wait a minute, are they really fighting or is this rigged? There you go. Chris says 2 companies having a peeing contest killed the wrestling industry. If you look at that, I don't know if it killed it, Chris. The links that they went to, okay, I get what you're saying. The links that they went to, sure, I'll go with that. Toby says, I met Dustin at football camp. He told stories that really exposed wrestling to me. Yeah. So we'll see. AEW Sports Entertainment as well. Lance, of the 2 companies, AEW does pro wrestling. My opinion. I believe that's who's doing pro wrestling between the 2 companies. That's what I think. You're welcome to agree, or you're welcome to disagree. You're welcome to agree. It is what it is. It's perfectly fine with me if you disagree. I promise you. Life will go on. Everyone has been talking about Melissa Coates. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not very familiar with the talent that went by the name Super Genie. 50 years old. She supposedly had one of her legs amputated right from just above the knee down. I don't know what the story is there. Whatever the story is, we still lost somebody that was connected to the industry. A lot of people have been saying their thoughts and well wishes. We here at the show want to do the same to the family, friends, and fans of Melissa Coates, a.k.a. Super Genie. All the best. Deepest condolences from the show, from everybody here that watches. And, rest in peace. Corey wants a shout out. What's up, Corey? How you doing, my friend? Corey, did you know that Tom Clark merchandise for Tom Clark's Main Event and Tom Clark's 6M podcast are available? tinyurl.com/Tom Clark pods. There you go. Let's see. Chris said she had one segment. That's right. Escaping the Master Lock. Yep. And look, hopefully she had a good run. Hopefully she made some money. And, again, hate to hear the news. Really bad. So, it's 50 years old is young. 50 years old is way young to even be thinking about leaving and shuffling off this mortal coil. So all the best to her family. Let's get to the Hell in a Cell review. We previewed it last Friday. We're going to run through these matches, and you guys can tell us what you think, what you thought, how you felt, and how you feel. Yes, Toby, she did work with Sabu. Homicidal, genocidal, suicidal. Yeah. Yes. Let's talk about the show, kids. Natalya defeated Mandy Rose in a match that was just sort of there for me, if I'm being honest. Hell in a Cell for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bianca Belair retains against Bayley. I thought it was a really, really well-fought match. I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. I don't know if it was either woman's best match, but I think that you tell 2 women they're going to be in a Hell in a Cell and they're going to step up their game. And I firmly believe that's what happened here. So good on them for coming out of this virtually unscathed. Hopefully everybody's happy, healthy, and safe today as we do this show. Seth Rollins defeats Cesaro, gets his win back from WrestleMania. I'm not gonna get too bent out of shape over this. Seth's a top guy for sure. Why this company feels the need to put over somebody and then not immediately, but then take that win back after the fact. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I understand why. So, yeah, it's crazy. I just don't get it. I don't understand. It doesn't make much sense to me. to be honest with you. But there again, man, this is WWE, baby. Don't get too upset. Don't get too upset. Greg says, great to see my old face from TNA, Lashley McIntyre. Where's the wrestlers WWE developed? Reigns, just family connection. Reigns is very good, Greg. My opinion. Reigns is doing the best work of his entire career right now. I just, that's how I feel. Alicia says best match of the night. It was pretty darn good. I think maybe I would agree with that. Chris says someone to work underneath while they lock in Cena and Roman. I guess that was my gut feeling. More than likely, you're probably right. Cesaro wins Money in the Bank. James speculates, postulates, opines. Perhaps. Are they going to let him do anything with it? Excellent question. Alexa Bliss defeated Shayna Baszler. She made Nia do this and slap him. She slapped him, pal. I got an idea. Let's give her voodoo. Bailey's laugh is very phony. Bailey's laugh is very phony and very ridiculous and not meant to be real. Okay? When Bailey cackles, what they call cackling, right? It's not meant to be, this is what she really is. It's meant to be over the top, and it's meant to be ridiculous, and it's meant to be, she's making fun of me right now. That's what she's doing. She doesn't believe half the things she says. She's in her own head, and she's having fun at my expense. Okay, all right, I'm going to kick her teeth down her throat. Alexa's shtick is we're supposed to believe that she's crazy. I just don't feel it. I still think Nikki Cross would have been a better fit for this spot, but there's no sense in armchair quarterbacking this ridiculous bit of nonsense. And listen, if you guys love it, go with God. However, as for me and my house,
hot garbage.
Listen, if you love it, oh my God. I love when Alexa wears a bunch of black eyeliner and she tries to make you think she's 12. Yeah. And she got a swing. Let's put a swing in there. Let's make like she's a kid. She's a demon. It's the Omen. Damien. I mean, they love her. Here's one thing I will tell you for sure. They love her. Okay. They love Alexa freaking Bliss. That's the truth. That's it. That's all. Period. If she wasn't doing this, she'd be doing something else high profile. I guarantee it. They love her. And look, I've never heard anything bad about her. Ever. I'm sure there's a lot to love. There you go. Hayden, what's up, my friend? I wonder if Mick Foley and Stone Cold's plea to Vince to push Cesaro to the moon will result in a main event run, because I'd love to see him as Universal Champion down the road, and apparently everyone else does too. Hayden, I agree with you. A lot of people want to see Cesaro get his just due because he's worked hard to get it. But Hayden, if you've ever watched the show, you know that one of the things I've always pushed to the forefront of my commentary about this industry, there are two realities. There's the one that we all know, and then there's the one that they know, okay? To us, our reality is Cesaro doesn't get a quality title. He never gets a quality title run. He's never going to get taken seriously. Man, has he worked hard to get it. Man, he deserves it. And oh boy, he should be world champion. And it's a crime he's being underused. That's our reality. Cesaro's reality may not be anything like that. Because for the majority of talent in this company and AEW and Ring of Honor and Impact and NWA and New Japan, they want to contribute. Every time they're in the ring, in the spotlight, and the camera's on, they want to give 150% to be sure that they're pulling their own weight. It's a lot about pride, some ego thrown in, professionalism, hopefully. But it's about, all right, boss, what am I doing tonight? Cool. I'm going to make the best of it. Can I do this? Cool. Can I try this? No? Okay, cool. We'll make it work. Okay. Trust me, I know. And when they get in there, it's about, I'm going to make the best of every possible moment that I have. If I'm the first match, the third match, or the sixth match, it doesn't make a difference. Curtain jerk, main event, before intermission, whatever, doesn't make a difference. You want that crowd when they leave that night to be going, man, did you that first match, dude? My God, you know what I mean? And every one of them want to do that. Now, it's not about upstaging the guys that come after. It's not about upstaging the guys that came before, but it is about bringing your best and contributing to the product, contributing to the brand. And when you put forth that effort, your part of the show, your contribution makes the show better, which makes you look better to the boss. See, it all goes hand in, don't hit the mic, Tom. It all goes hand in hand and works up. You get it? That's what I'm saying. So while we're all sitting back talking about Cesaro, yes, we love this guy. And we do. I do too. What is his reality? Does he care about a title? I don't know. If you could ask Cesaro, the man, forget the character, not on Wrestling Rumors interview, not on Wrestling Observer interview, not on Bleacher Report interview, none of that stuff. Just behind closed doors between two friends. What would he say to Xavier Woods if Woods said, hey, man, what do you think about the title? You ever care about that? What would he say? That's the answer. That would be the honest answer, not what he would give us, but his honest, straight from the gut answer. That's what I would love to hear. That's what I would like to know. Now, whether or not he would agree with anything we're saying we'll see. I still think that he'll have a lot to say at some point, if and when his time in that company comes to an end. Here's a match that I think stole the show. Sami Zayn defeated Kevin Owens. I think the count so far is 9-3. Owens has won 9 matches to Zayn's 3 since they've been in this company. I think I heard that stat the other day from somebody. This was a quality match. We all knew it would be. We all knew that these two guys were going to bring it, because you bring it harder against your friend than you do against anybody else. Two friends in the ring, two guys who are familiar but are just having a one-off feud, are more than likely, not always, kids, but more than likely not going to put forth the sort of effort that a Zayn and Owens would put forth. This is HBK and Triple H. This is CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Okay. This is, John Cena and Randy Orton. These are two guys that you can put against each other anytime you want to. It'll always be quality. It'll always work, and it'll always be entertaining and fun, and more importantly, hard hitting. People will go away from that show going, my God, Kevin and Sami beat the living dog out of each other. Well, guess what? They did here too. What did you guys think of this match? I thoroughly enjoyed it. Ray's in the house, everybody. What's up, Ray? I didn't miss you, my friend. Davis says Sami and Kevin have so much chemistry. They know each other so well. 100%, my friend. Yep, Chris, I'm with you. Should have been Hell in a Cell. Why wasn't it Hell in a Cell? What do they have to do to get a Hell in a Cell, these two? If they didn't do it to get here, what do they have to do? Hit each other with a bus? What has to happen here? You know what I mean? What's up, Ryan? Ryan says Sami is Ryan right? Does everybody believe that that Sami is underrated in the ring? I think his character tends to take center stage so often that maybe Ryan's right and people kind of look past Sami a bit. I love Sami. Kellen says it's true. Yeah, the rumor is Kevin Owens is taking a break. Maybe it's family business. Maybe it's just to rest up. I don't know. Can't go hardcore all the time. You can, but eventually you're going to pay for it. I mean, your body breaks down. I mean, eventually even the Iron Men of the business at some point need to breathe. You know what I mean? It's a let me up thing, right? You got to let me up. Crazy. Alicia says, good match, but thought it was just a match that was thrown in to fill a spot. Interesting take. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. What do you think of evidently Austin gave him his blessing. Let's be honest. There's variations of the stunner used for years and years and years now. The cutter, the stunner, variations of it, from the RKO to the gun stun to the diamond cutter to the Osaka cutter to Cody cutter. My God. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. Again, I don't get any heartburn over any of that stuff. Let's see. Charlotte Flair defeated Rhea Ripley by disqualification to retain the Raw Women's Championship. The title didn't change hands, kids, but I'm going to tell you right now, I still think it's going to. I still think Charlotte Flair will be your new Raw Women's Champion at some point. I don't see Rhea hanging on to it for another 2-3 months. Mostly because I just don't. It's another example, kids, of how personally, from where I'm sitting in this comfy chair, I don't know that they know what Rhea Ripley is. I think that the powers that be take one look at her and goes, what is she? She's a wrestler. Yeah, but look at her. Yeah, look at her. Wow. Who else looks like her? Well, nobody. That's the problem. No, it's not. That's the point. No one looks like Rhea Ripley. Ruby Riott was the closest one. And they're two different wrestlers. I love Rhea. You kidding me? If I was building my own pro wrestling company from the ground up with unlimited budget, I'd go after Rhea Ripley for my women's division. You better believe that. But I don't know if they know what to do with her. That's just me talking. Shannon says Rhea is the best thing about Raw. Shannon, I got to be honest with you. I have a hard time disagreeing with your statement. Toby says Charlotte wins. Becky returns on Raw, setting up yet another feud between them. How do you guys feel about Toby's comment? I see Becky at SummerSlam. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be wrong. But that's what I think everyone's pointing to, and I think that's when we'll see her. Alicia says they really don't know how to use her. She doesn't fit what they want her to. I agree with that. Keith says Rhea deserves a legit. Well, she's got her run right now, Keith. The question is the booking there? Is the booking there? Keldon says Bliss is the best thing for Raw. Wow. My friend, I completely disagree. However, it's okay. We can all have our viewpoints, and no one's necessarily wrong. There you go. Triple threat at SummerSlam, Shannon says, perhaps. The main event of Hell in a Cell, pal, was the Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley defeats Drew McIntyre, which means as long as Lashley has that title, Drew Mac does not get another title shot. I said this on Twitter, and I'm going to repeat it here for you kids today. When they write the book on Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, they won't be able to mention either guy's career without mentioning who their greatest opponent was. And I believe that McIntyre's greatest opponent to this point in his career is Lashley. And I think the same is true for Lashley. That's how I feel. From what they did in Impact / TNA to what they're doing here, I think they are each other's best opponents. I think they had a very quality match. I'm with you, Keith. I wasn't a fan of the ending either. Dave says, bye-bye, Drew. Thank God. Tired of Drew. Wow. I think they'll go the typical route with Drew McIntyre. I think they're going to turn him heel. Again, I just, because now they're like, what do we do with him now? I think they'll turn him heel. That's their answer. We got a baby face who was red hot at one time. We ran out of stuff for him to do. What do we do? Wait, let's turn him heel again. And they'll go, you got it, boss. Hayden says, this is my favorite match at pay-per-view. I'm just indifferent about the roll-up finish. I agree with you. Roll-ups can be tricky. I produce matches where the finish is the roll-up. Pull back the curtain. And I've been looked at like, really? That's what we're doing? And even if my logic is 100% there, in my head it's 100% there, sometimes the guys or gals in question will be like, well, okay, but what if we try this? And I'll be like, wow, that's actually better. Yeah, you know what I mean? It has to be in the right match. It has to be in the right moment. I think it works with this, however, in my opinion, because I believe that it's a nice way of saying Not only can he not get another shot, but he lost in a roll-up. That's got to be demeaning to him. Knowing how good he is and how his pride is bruised, his ego's bruised, he lost in a roll-up. What? That kind of thing. If they play that out, they'll be turning him heel. Dave says Brock versus Bobby at SummerSlam. I agree. Chris says based on the stipulation threw out on Raw where he can't challenge Lashley again. Yeah. He can win Money in the Bank, not be able to challenge to set up McIntyre, having to screw over Lashley and become a heel to win back the title. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Jamel says, I took the roll-up as lazy riding. My friend, we can take a lot of what they do as lazy riding. Shane says I would have Drew attacking VP under a hood and do an RKO on him. They would blame Randy. They're about the same height, aren't they? Well, Drew might be a little taller. That might work. That'd be different, right? Drew's a big guy. Ray says I heard Cole is in Money in the Bank. Let's see, kids. As of this moment, he is not. As of this moment, Morrison, Ricochet, and Bro. Matt Riddle with that dumb, dopey-looking grin on his face. No disrespect. That's the word, Ray. Cena versus Roman. Again. We'll see. Ratings. You guys live for it. You guys die for it. Here they be. This week's SmackDown, 2.045 compared to last week's 1.944. This week's Raw down from 1.74 to 1.71. Raw was hard to watch again, folks. I'm not... yeah, yikes. Ouch. Let's talk about some AEW, shall we? Kenny Omega versus Jungle Boy for the AEW World Championship coming up this Saturday night, AEW Dynamite. What do you guys make of this? Are you looking forward to this match? Is there any chance on the planet, the third rock from the sun that we call Earth, is there any chance at all Jungle Boy emerges from this with the AEW World's Heavyweight Championship? Any chance at all? You discuss. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. That's good. Ray says, Jungle Boy, no shot. Chris says, time limit draw. Keldon says, Kenny winning is too predictable. Mark says, where'd you go? Omega wins again. Alicia says, nope, not at all. Jamel says it'll be a good match, but no way. Ooh, language, Jamel. If he gets help, Carlos says. Talking about Jungle Boy. Dave says, not seeing Jungle Boy winning. Alicia says they will run that Omega train as far as it will go. And I think, honestly, that's the right move. Wow. Tim is going, wow. 80% chance Jungle Boy wins the title. Wow, dude, that's big. Keith says Jungle Boy will not win, but will put up a great showing. Mark says, I want to see Moose beat Omega for Impact title. Why do they keep delaying that? They're moving to something, seems like. Should steal the show, but I have a feeling it'll have a screwy finish and Omega retains, probably with help from Don Callis. Yeah, they're going down that well. That well's maybe going to run dry at some point. We'll see. Cherie says, rooting for Jungle Boy. Only if there's interference and it goes Jungle Boy's way. Toby says Omega will lose to Page or Cage only. I mean, Brian Cage lost to Tessa Blanchard in Impact Wrestling. I don't know if anybody cares. I don't know. I guess everybody's over that, and Tom's just going to be a stickler. Tom, you're hung up on the past. Brother. I don't know. You could be right. Maybe I'm off base. Byron in Scotland. Don't you hate when, like, Americans try to butcher your language? My apologies. Chris says, I would have Jungle Boy overcome the odds only to have it go to time limit draw, but that's just me. I do think that however this thing ends, it needs to have an ending, in my opinion, where it's like, he was this close. he was this close to bringing that title home. If only for ... You know what I mean? There you go. Shannon says, I see Omega winning, but it's going to be a great match. Jungle Boy always brings his very best. He's only getting better, which is scary. He's only getting better. His best days are far ahead of him. That's the truth. We shall see what happens. I'm going to look this up because I used to know the answer to this. So we will see. Because I forgot the answer. Let me look this up. Oh my God. Okay. Pardon me. Jungle Boy is 24. I hate him already. Jungle Boy's 24. Jungle Boy's got 20 years in front of him if he stays healthy and this is what he wants to do for the rest of his life. 20 productive years ahead of him. It's insane. Your kids, some of you, your grandkids might be talking about this kid. How about that? Insane. Insane. And we're seeing his beginnings. That's something special, folks. That's something special. How many people could say, hey, I knew Ric Flair. I knew of Ric Flair when he was a nobody. Before he dyed his hair, I knew Flair. Oh my God. Can you imagine? That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. A lot of us can say, hey, we knew Okada before he dyed his hair. Right? I'm just saying. Toby said Jungle Boy winning would give AEW big time attention for sure. It would butcher whatever they're wanting to do with the title in terms of having Kenny as the belt collector and all that stuff, even though Jay White disputes that, right? But yeah, we'll see what happens. What did you think, kids, about Jake Hager defeating Wardlow in the MMA cage fight in AEW? First of all, turn on AEW and see the octagon on there. That's different, right? That was sort of out of the blue. Not out of the blue, but it's a shock to the eyes to see that. Leave it to AEW to go all out and try, pun intended, to go all out and try something of this nature. Throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks, baby. Put forth an effort. Be different. Stand out. Try new things, right? I think that's what they're doing here. I think it's smart. Did it work for you? That's the question. Did this work for you? Did you buy this? Did it seem silly? Did it seem lame? Hager's pulling his punches. They all have to pull their punches because if Hager doesn't pull his punches, oh my God. What'd you guys think? Toby says it was better than I expected. I agree. Jamil says it should have went to the last round. I didn't mind. Shannon says, I thought it was pretty good and it looked awesome. It caught my attention. I think maybe that was the point, Shannon, is that your average person turning around the TV stops and goes, oh, is there a UFC fight on tonight? Isn't that guy from WWE? Bam. Right? I'm just saying. Is this Bellator? What's going on? What's going on? Carlos says it was different. I liked it. Chris says it didn't really work for me, but was a neat idea. Reminded me a bit of when they tried with Owen Hart and Shamrock. Yeah. I can't say it floated my boat all the way to the end of the pier. That doesn't make any sense, does it? You know what I mean? But at the same time, kudos to them for trying something different. Different is good. Sometimes, okay? Sometimes different is, what's this crap? You know what I mean? If you got a room full of people watching wrestling, I guarantee you at some point, one of those people is going to say, what's this crap? You know what I mean? Or a variation of it. Never fails. Byron says, definitely different and out there. Hats off to AEW. Tim says the ending was wired. Sugar Shane says, if I wanted to watch UFC, I would have watched it. It reminded me of Raw Underground. Hot take. I get you. I hated Raw Underground. I hated it. The whole concept. I couldn't stand it. Want to know why? Because to Shane's point, if I want to watch this, I'll go watch Bloodsport, right? Or I'll go watch UFC. He's got a point. I can't discount what he said. Toby says it was way better than that boxing challenge that he had years ago. Anything's better than that. My opinion. Something else coming out of that Dynamite. Brock Anderson debuted. What did you think of the son of Double A debuting? What do you guys think about that? That was pretty cool, right? He's got Arn's body. My God, he's got his hair, he's got his face and his beard, and he's got his body. That long body, and you can see that if he doesn't keep eating right, he's going to start getting a pot belly. Maybe. Do you know what I'm saying? No disrespect. I'm just saying he's built like his dad. A lot to live up to. And I'll be honest with you on this as well. If you're going to be in a company where you need to be nurtured and you need to be brought up the right way, you need to be trained the right way with people who have already went through this and went down this path. AEW is a great spot for you. You got Dustin, you got Cody, who have already dealt with this, who have already, Dean Malenko, folks, second generation wrestler. Think about that. I mean, you got to think about who can get into his ear, pull him aside and say, look, man, I know this went wrong, but let me tell you something. This is you. This is not your dad. You know what I mean? And kind of coach him up. I think that's going to be tremendous for him. Tremendous for him. Chris says, looks exactly like Arn. I want to see him develop more, but good first showing. Yeah, I want to see him hit the spine buster. I really wanted to see it. Brandon says, I liked it. You could tell who his daddy is for sure. For sure. Toby says, he totally looks like Arn. I'm feeling it. Same here. Carlos says, what's going to happen to the ratings when the new show, AEW show, starts on Fridays in August? I don't know, Carlos. That's a great question. We'll all have to wait and see. We'll just wait and find out together, I suppose. Byron says, AEW making good of second-generation superstars. I agree. Ray says, let's see the Spanish God Guild title shot. Ray, we've been talking for 2 years here on the show about how, Sammy Guevara is the future of that company. I firmly believe that. The Anderson family doesn't get enough of credit. Such a great legacy, Toby says. They get credit among the hardcore fans, Toby. Where do they get credit among the mainstream audience? That's a good question. Timothy hitting us with some hot takes here today, kids. Wasn't impressed with Brock Anderson. Wow. All right. Why, though? Just curious. Chris says they're apparently doing really well on Saturday with DVR numbers for these 10 o'clock shows, so probably much the same. The DVR throws everything wonky, doesn't it? It is what it is. A couple more things before we take it home today, kids. Karrion Kross on the main event. If any of you have Hulu, then you know the main event is already on there. WWE's main event, not Tom Clark's main event. Maybe one day. So they had Karrion Kross on NXT, and the notes that I read, the notes that I looked at this past couple of days were they had Karrion Kross up, Karrion and Scarlett and somebody else up on like the NXT or the WWE, so they could have a look at them. So WWE guys could have a look at them. Well, know why? Because they don't have smartphones in that company. See the logo? They don't have smartphones. So they can't just watch NXT whenever they want to see what Karrion Kross is all about. They need to have a look at Karrion Kross. They need to have a look at him. Let's look at him. Let's just look at him. What? What? I got the button. What am I doing? They need to have a look at him.
What?
Karrion Kross.
What?
NXT champion.
What?
Veteran of the business.
What?
Former Impact Wrestling star.
What?
Traveled the world.
What?
A beast in the ring.
What?
A beast in NXT.
What?
And they need to have a look at him.
What?
Is this not the same company? Again, they can't take their smartphones out and look at the WWE app at Peacock. They couldn't just have watched NXT. We need to have a look at him. I'm not mad. I assure you. I'm not. I don't know why there's a point in getting mad. I just don't. Bronson. Thank you, Alicia. You're right. Thank you. Yeah. I just don't I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'll move on. The Diamond Mine debuts on NXT. We finally found out what this is. Roderick Strong, Tyler Russ, Hideki Suzuki, and Malcolm Bivens as the manager. Roddy back in another thing. Now, as Roddy stepped forward as the face and the front man of this, if Roddy's the front man, I would say go with God. There's always room for another guy. You know what I mean? There's only the three of them. So we'll see. How do you guys feel about this? Did you envision that Roddy was going to be on his own and go on a singles run like Ray's guy is, like Ray's guy decided to do? There you go. What do you guys think about that? Byron says Diamond Mine was wasted buildup. Could be. Excuse me. I think it's the only time I coughed during the show today. That's a record. Last week was brutal. By the way, I got a new button. I totally forgot to show everybody today. Maybe, should I save it? Maybe I'll save it for next week. La, 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 la. Ray says Roddy rode Adam Cole's coattails. Does anybody care about the new button? Shall I save it? I didn't use it at all. I kind of forgot to put it there. Chris says lots of factions where people don't actually like each other. It's weird. Yeah, isn't that weird? Alicia says not a Roddy fan. Roddy is not Mr. Charisma by any means. He's a step above Dean Malenko in terms of the charisma, I believe. I don't know how far up he is. I think Roddy would have been an incredible horseman. In that sort of, he's a mechanic and he'll tear you apart. He can dissect you kind of way, like an Arn Anderson kind of way, but he can also hit high impact moves. What do you think? Shannon wants it. All right, here's a button. Check it out.
Ding dong! Hello!
What do you think? Is it working for you? Here it is one more time. Ready?
Ding dong! Hello!
With the piped in booze and everything. Boo, Bailey. Brenda didn't like it. Boo. What's wrong with it? I love it. Mark Gray says, why isn't Austin Theory doing his own thing? I feel he can do better on his own. Well, he's getting exposure in this, the way thing, right? And then when the time comes, hopefully, bam, they move him on his own. I love Austin Theory. I do. This kid, Austin Theory has nothing but upside. Tremendous potential. Ray says Adam Cole button. Much, much better. I'll try not to forget the button next week. I haven't done a new button in so long. Dave says, ding dong, hello, love Bailey. All right, by Crackle, here we go. This week, AEW. Because we don't know, it happens tomorrow. Okay. Last week, however, 553,000. Last week, NXT, 695 down to 665 this week. There's your ratings, kids. Let's open this floor wide open. Try not to fall through the hole. Let's go to it before we take it home. What do you guys got for me? Hit me. I don't know. Shane says, did you hear the rumor Ted DiBiase Jr. is coming back to NXT? I have not heard that, but would that be something? Shannon says the best button is Cameron Grimes. We didn't talk about Cameron at all, did we? What were we thinking? You can kiss my grin! Yuka Sakazaki returned to AEW. Excited for it. Can I be honest with you, Chris? I feel like we have a good rapport. I feel like I can just say stuff. I have not been that high on her. It doesn't think that I don't think she can work. Please don't take it to mean that. Because that's not it at all. But I got to see some more. And it's my fault for not seeing enough. It's not like she just started. It's my fault for not seeing enough. Okay? That's what I'm saying to you. And this, I don't want this to sound any kind of way because I sure don't mean it to. I think to most American mainstream pro wrestling fans who don't follow any other products or any other brands or any other companies or any other talents, and there's still all these people out there, kids. Another Japanese wrestler in AEW, is she going to stand out? Is she going to stand out to the point where people say, oh, there's my girl. I love her. I don't know. Now, look, if I'm getting this wrong, so be it. It is what it is. And again, I mean no disrespect by that comment. People need to have an impact. No pun intended. They need to be smacked in the face with it. You know what I mean? And I just don't, I don't know if she has that. Listen, am I out of line here? Does anyone see what I'm saying? Does anyone agree with me on this? Riho's carved out a spot. Whether loved or hated, Riho is the underdog. She looks like she couldn't legitimately take care of herself in a fight until she fires up. When Riho fires up, she has one of the best comebacks of any woman in the ring today. And I'm sticking by that. I don't care what anybody thinks. When she fires up and starts her comeback, she looks like she's going to kill somebody. That to me stands out. I'm not going to forget her. Do you know what I mean? Hikaru Shida, I think, went a long way into separating herself from anyone else on the roster. Is Sakazaki going to do that? I don't know. Has she done it for you? I'm just throwing it out there to you. And we'll see what you guys think. Chris says they do a terrible job of packaging them in a way to make you care. Need some vignettes or something. 100% agree. 100% agree. Dewdrop, Keith says, oh my God, totally. Oh, I can't stand it. And, Phil gave his comments last week on the show about what he thinks they're doing with her, and I completely agree. Tim says, since you're a Sixers fan, what are the chances? Oh, man. Do you think it'll happen? Ben Simmons getting traded? Whew, I hope not, man. I don't want to see it happen. I don't want to see it happen. Shannon says we didn't talk about your favorite wrestler, Eva Marie. Yikes. Toby, you're going to hate me for this. Is Alan Collins underrated as a guitarist? God bless. Remind me who Alan Collins is. Is that terrible to say? Because I'm blanking on the name right now. Ray says Biz Marquee or Chubb Rock and will seem to be champ again. Biz Marquee, you got what I need. Everybody. But you say he's just a friend. All right. I don't want to see John break Flair's record. I don't want to see 17. I think Rick would be okay with it. He loves John, but I don't personally want to see it. Toby, I'll be straight with you, my friend. I am not a Skinner guy. I just am not. They accomplished a lot. I'm just not. I can't. I'm in North Carolina. They're so overplayed here. And even as a kid, I wasn't a fan. There's something about that sound. They're basically a country band with a metal guitar in it. It's just me. It's just my own personal taste. I'm just not a fan. I appreciate what they accomplish in the business, but nah, it's not for me. Cherie asked about Greta Van Fleet. Greta Van Fleet, thank you, Led Zeppelin, for giving us a career. I'm sorry, it's how I feel. And they can deny that all they want to, but it's the truth. It's the truth. The comparisons are there. The sound, they're a good live band. I've heard them live in concert. Wow. They cook. Those boys can flat out play, and he can belt. He can sing, brother. He can. I can't say I'm their biggest fan. If I'm being straight with you, I can't say I'm their biggest fan. Chris, I'm with you. They're saving the beating Flair's record. They're saving it for Charlotte. I 100% agree. Ryan, believe it or not a huge Rush fan. I appreciate what they did in the industry. I appreciate the musicianship, how good they all three are or were or together or whatever. Separately, and of course, not a big Rush fan. Can't say that I've ever listened to Drive By Truckers, Chris. I just, nah. Dave, thanks for hanging out, my friend. Keith says Cena breaks Flair's record at SummerSlam defeating Roman, but then loses it to whomever cash in at Money in the Bank. We'll see. Toby wants to see Ben Simmons on the Lakers. Yikes. I don't know if they need anybody. Do they really need anybody else? I don't know, man. Give me a couple more kids before I get out of here. Death Row or Bad Boy Records? Oh, I got to go with Death Row. I have to. Yeah, I do. I only have one AEW button. It's Sting. Alice Cooper, Sugar Shane will go down as one of the best rock and roll frontmen stage performers in the history of the game, by far. By far. They're going to put up statues dedicated to this guy when he passes on. They should. I mean, the whole concept of the rock and roll stage show, of theatrics, of making giving you your money's worth, giving you something unique to look at. Alice Cooper, he's the man, dude. I love that guy. I can't sit here and say I'm into all of his music, but nah, man, I'm just good for him. Toby, when you work in the line of work I work in, it's hard to have July 4th plans. I work almost every holiday, my friend. Let's see. Ryan says, I've been hearing Ben Simmons wants to go to New York with Rand. We'll see. Favorite Harley race match? Chris, that's tough. When he dropped the belt to Flair in the cage. Flair wouldn't look at that and tell you it's his best match. Would he? I don't think he would. There was I think his first title win, he sort of discounted like, nah, that wasn't the one. It may have been when he won it from Dusty that he said that about. I did enjoy that match. I didn't care for much of anything Harley did in WWF. I just really did not. NWA or Wu-Tang? Wu-Tang for life, baby. Over here. That's my group, man. I like NWA. I love Wu-Tang. So, what's your takes? MJF versus Sammy next week? I think MJF's going over. Alice or Ozzy? Ooh. All right. What can I hit play on and listen to all day? Ozzy. I'm not a huge fan of Alice's vocals, if I'm being straight. Personally, if Funk versus Flair, was just curious. Funk versus Flair, and the first time that we ever saw a wrestler, I think the first time we ever saw a wrestler try to get put through a table, and the table was not a prop. It was a real, honest to God, something to go in a meeting table, retro 1979 or something, that table, and screwed up Flair's neck. Wow. Yeah. That was the same. Was that Chi-Town? No, I'm thinking of Flair and Steamboat. And that was the match afterward that he demanded that Terry shake his hand, right? It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Shannon, thank you for hanging out. I will most definitely tell the boy you said hi. Is Fight for the Fallen in Charlotte? How did I not know this? Is it? Can anyone verify that for me? How did I not know this? I'll look it up right now. How did I not know? It is. Well, yeah, that's where, July 20. Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there. I thought it was just a Dynamite. It was advertised as a Dynamite. Hey, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll be there. Got tickets already. Yep. Can I be straight with you? It wasn't even advertised as a Fight for the Fallen. Not even on Ticketmaster when they went on sale. That's pretty cool. Ray, I don't really set off fireworks, man, to be straight with you. I really don't. I may go somewhere and watch them. Toby, awesome, man. Awesome, dude. I'll be there with the boy and Gary Benfield, owner, promoter of High Velocity Wrestling. So that'll be fun. We're there. We're going to be scouting talent. I'm just kidding. We know some people there for sure. So, all right. Give me one more, kids, before we call it a day and get to our weekend. Oh, la, 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 la. Listen, I want to remind everybody here before we take this thing home. If there's 25 of you, everybody listen, please go look. tinyurl.com/Tom Clark Pods, Pods. tinyurl.com. There it is, /Tom Clark Pods. Official podcast merchandise for Tom Clark's Main Event and Tom Clark's 6M podcast. By the way, this past Tom Clark's 6M podcast was episode 1 of 3 of our review. Jamel, send me that link in my personal messenger, my friend. Will you do that for me on Facebook, please? And thank you. This past week was part 1 of 3 of our review of Avengers Endgame. There's 3 parts. It's myself and great friend Greg Ramsey. You're going to have to check out these episodes. They're really action-packed. We break down the movie scene by scene by scene, talk about everything that happens. I think you'll dig it. Part 1 was really, really fun. So there you go. Yes, Paul Orndorff is dealing with some stuff right now, physical issues. All the best to him. Robbie sent me a hard-hitting question. My goodness gracious. Chris, let me get back to you here in a minute. We might end with you, Chris. Robbie, where are you? Robbie, where's your hard-hitting question? Hit me again. I missed it. My apologies. Yeah, I missed it. That's the boy, I'll bet you. Oh, it's not. Jamel, thank you for the link, my friend. So let's see. Chris, you asked what was the hardest thing to deal with backstage, behind the scenes. I don't want to say hard, but it's frantic behind the curtain. It's chaos behind the curtain. Usually on show day, bell time's at 7. I'm usually there by 11 o'clock that morning. Maybe earlier if I can get there that earlier than that. And the whole day is just prep. The whole day is setting up computers, helping to set up wherever I can, set up chairs for the show, running through all the social media stuff, last minute links, last minute props, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Getting everything set, getting everything ready. Props was a bad word, but you know what I'm saying. Time consuming, frantic, chaos behind the scenes. Even if you've got all day to plan, when showtime gets there, and let me tell you something, man, when 6:30 hits and the doors open till 10:30, 11 o'clock when the show's over, it's gone in a heartbeat. You're exhausted. You're tired. Everything's done. And you're like, was that it? Was that the main event? It's insane. You spend months and months and months planning. You book the matches. You get the talent on board. You talk to everybody. Get everything set that night. Get everybody where they need to be. You're here. You're here. You're here. You're over here. You're over here. And I'm here. Right? At the minute that bell rings, buddy, it's 100%, 100 miles an hour. So organization is key. Poor organization is the worst part of it. If you don't have a good game plan going in, you're going to get lost. Your talent won't know what they're doing. That's not a good night for anybody. So planning is key. That may be a roundabout way of answering your question, but good planning is the key. Robbie, we're ending with you, my friend. If there was one current legendary wrestler with grown children, who would you like to see go pro and in what company? There was one current or legendary wrestler with grown children who you would like to see go pro. Robbie, I'm not sure I know what you're asking. Elaborate, Robbie, so we can get out of here. Sandy bought his shirt. He loves it. Just want to let you know, Tom Clark, the T shipping was quick. Yes, sir. That's awesome. I ordered one for myself yesterday morning. It's being made today. They make upon order. So 24 hours after the order was put in and received and cleared, they're already making the shirt. So it should be shipping by this weekend. It's pretty good turnaround. Sandy, I think for you it was 4 days. Am I right? Maybe not 4 days, maybe 3. Yeah, it was pretty darn quick. Robbie, rephrase that for me, my friend, and we'll get out of here. If not, I'll hit you next week. There was one current or legendary wrestler with grown children who you would like to see go pro. Because that could be answered in a number of ways. You know what I mean? Alba's asking for hot garbage t-shirt. I might make one. Whose child would you like to see as second generation wrestler and for what company? Are we talking about real? All right. I'm just going to answer the best way I can. I think it's intriguing for anyone that has rivalries today. to have kids that might compete in the future? This is kind of a weird question. Because, Flair versus Blanchard, there's Anderson's back in the mix. The Rock's daughter's already been a developmental, hasn't she? I think. I believe so. So, I mean, that would be my answer is always to carry on tradition. Now, ask these kids if they want to carry on tradition, if they want to be their own person. That's where Dustin came in to play. Like, look, I love my dad, but I want to do my own thing. I think the shadow of the legendary figure might be tough. Will says he would buy a hot garbage t-shirt. Guess what's going to happen, Will? I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to design a hot garbage t-shirt. Who would buy a hot garbage t-shirt? And trust me when I tell you, I can design it in no time and get that sucker up on the site today. The dog is downstairs with the mom. And the boys at a neighbor's house sleeping. Probably still sleeping, knowing him. All right, kids, listen, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. As always, I appreciate everybody showing us some love. Please, 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 tinyurl.com/TomClarkPods. We've got all shapes and sizes on there. It goes up to a certain limit, but if you can't find what fits, it won't work for you. We've got a lot of other stuff that will work for you. Again, kids, I'm just trying to get the logo out there. Help me get the logo out there. If you can help me push the show, if there's anybody out there that you know that's a fan, if you happen to wear the t-shirt or you're drinking out of the travel mug, say, hey, Tom, what's that? Oh, well, he's a guy on Facebook. You should totally watch the show. Again, this is not going to put a butt ton of money in my pocket, kids. This is just about getting the logo out there and making this happen for the show and trying to promote the show as much as I possibly can. Yes, ma'am, Cherie. Black Widow in 2 weeks. Cannot wait. Don't know if I'll be going to a theater, but I'm going to watch it regardless. That's all I got for you, kids. I hope everybody out there has a fantastic weekend. I'm going to finish up my vacation this weekend. And next week, it's back to work for the man. Okay? That's what I think about that. So there you go. Sound effect, courtesy of Tom Clark's Main Event. Let's get out of here, kids. Thanks again for watching. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you next time. Tom Clark's Main Event.